I have in front of me the 9x4 satellite and terrestrial multi-switch from Smart Titanium's range. Okay, so what we have here is we have the multi-switch itself, and here we have the outer packaging. So it's available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie. The reason we went with Smart Electronics is their titanium range has very, very good, strong reputation, and also it's quite competitive in terms of the price ranges coming out. So the basic idea of something like this is that we want to take inputs from two different satellites, up to two different satellites, and a TV aerial as well, and run it out to four TV points, each having a single cable running to it that can, and at each of those TV points will be able to support both either of the satellites or the terrestrial input through a single cable. So let's just talk about how we'd wire this, set it up, all the rest of it. So we had a situation where we had a TV aerial mounted outside. We run the TV aerial in and we feed it directly into the terrestrial input. So this will say in Ireland will cover all the Freeview or the Sairview channels, or if we're using this in the UK region, it'll be covering all of the Freeview channels. And then we'll say we have the first satellite, and it's after being set up for, we'll say Astra 2, which will be covering all of the FreeSat channels. So it will connect directly onto these four inputs here. So in the traditional setup, what we could do is we would use a Quattro LNB on that satellite dish. But with the new latest versions of this particular multi-switch, you can actually take a feed directly off a quad LNB. So the typical quad LNB that Sky traditionally would have fitted onto their satellite dishes would be sufficient for this, or any universal dish. And then we'll say we'll have our second satellite. We'll just take an example that is coming from Hotbird, for instance, and we're pulling down some French or channel, something like that. It'll feed directly in here, and all of a sudden then we have outputs going out, and contained in each of these outputs will be the Astra 1, the Astra 2, and also the terrestrial channels, or we'll say Astra 2 Hotbird terrestrial channels, depending on our satellite setup. And what we could have then at the faceplate where this comes out is we could have a diplexing plate that will split it back out. It's possible to leave both the satellite, both the two satellite signals as a single feed, because we can just set it up with a DISEC setting on the box, take both feeds at the same time. So it can be extremely convenient, particularly we'll say if we had a mix of languages in a single house, and the fact that it's four outputs makes it ideal for a sort of a domestic setup, and the price point it's coming in at makes it very attractive for that as well. So we believe this will be reasonably successful in the Irish market. Always multi-switches in Ireland are a little bit niche, where we'll say if we looked at the German market, something like that, where multi-switches here are often used in, we'll say there was a mix of nationalities, or if for commercial settings. In Germany, we'll say multi-switches are used just all the time in all types of setups, so domestic, commercial, all the rest of it. It's a huge market to sell millions of multi-switches every year. So this particular one we're reasonably happy with in terms of the testing here, and the overall Smart Electronics titanium range is a great reputation in the market. So that's it anyway, an overview of the 9x4 satellite terrestrial multi-switch available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie.